सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। So we have said Narudhathat Brahmanaha Upasana Vidisheshatvam Sambhavati Ekatve He Upade Shunyadaya Kriyakarakaritvaida Vijnano Pumartha Upadehe. Up to this we have seen. So what we are now doing is showing the Pramanyam of Vedanta Shastra. That the Vedanta Shastram is the Pramanam in the matter of Brahma Vidya. If Vedanta Shastram means Shabda, Shabda Rupa Shastram. Vedanta Shastram, which is Shabda Rupam, that is the Pramanam. If that is a Pramanam, then there can't be an alternative Pramanam. Pramana cannot have an alternate. A means of knowledge is always, it is a sole means of knowledge. Therefore, Vedanta Pramanam is the Pramanam in the matter of conveying the truth of everything. This very sansari is indeed ever free being by nature. No matter what he feels about himself, no matter what he thinks about himself, that is all different. In his view he may be a sansari, but in the eyes of the Shruti he is Brahmavastu, he is the truth. And conveying that vision, conveying that fact to the jiva, for that the Pramana, what conveys that fact is Shastra Pramana. This is exactly what is being seen now, for which there are so many objections. And one of the objections is the Mimamsaka, who says that Vedanta Janya Jnanam is not an end in itself. In fact, Vedanta is a Pramanam not by itself, but Vedanta is a Pramanam as connected to Karma and Upasana. See, meaning the topic of Vedanta called Brahma Vidya, so he is having Seshatvam, meaning has a relation. It's connected to the Karma to be done, or connected to the upasana to be done. That is called karma vidhi seshatvam or upasana vidhi seshatvam. So the Brahma Vidya has karma vidhi seshatvam or upasana vidhi seshatvam. And what we say is that Brahma Vidya doesn't have Seshatvam with either Karma Vidhi or Upasana Vidhi, because it is an end in itself. It's not a knowledge that can be made use of for another result. Like in material world, we make use of the information about everything for a next result. We use knowledge for a material result. That using knowledge for another material result, that material result is always the sukham. You see, material, shariram sukham or manasam sukham. You see, so that any information is used for the karma. I use the information to do an action, and then action brings about the result, and that result is always in the form of mental pleasure. This sequence must be kept in view. In that way, every information in life has got either karma vidhi seshatvam or upasana vidhi seshatvam. No knowledge is an end in itself. Even though knowledge is knowledge, but it is always available for being used for an action, for a pleasure. We use information for our pleasure. This is called Kriya Vidhiseka. Very, very big point. People don't understand the language of it. It's a very big point. That no information, no science is an end in itself. Every apara vidya, every science is used for survival, or used for a material result. Meaning that being used means it is always used to perform an action. And that connection between aparavidya and the action is what is called Kriya Vidhiseshatvam. But Brahmavidya doesn't have Kriya Vidhiseshatvam. This Vailakshanyam, this dissimilarity, this difference must be seen by a Vedanta Vidyarthi. The information about Brahman, call it information, call it recognition, knowledge. The knowledge about what one is, the knowledge about the truth is not used for an action, an empirical action, or religious action, or religious physical worship, religious mental worship is not used. If it is used, then the really useful thing is that result then, not that vidya. If Brahma Vidya is used for an action, and that if that action brings the result, then what we enjoy is that result, not Brahma Vidya. That means Phaladayakam is only, the Sukhadayakam is only, would be only that phalam of that action, not the knowledge, Brahma Vidya. If it were true that Brahma Vidya is available for being used, if it is available for being used for any Kriya, then definitely we can say that Vedanta is a part of Karma Kanda. Definitely. Because it has got Seshatvam with Karma and Upasana. Then Vedanta cannot be looked upon as a Bhinna Prakaranam. That Bhinna Prakarana means a different topic. It is not Karma Prakaranam, it is a Brahma Prakaranam in the sense of Bhinna Prakaranam, Bhinna from the Karma Kanda. And that is why we have, if it is true that Vedanta also is a part of Karma Kanda, then we would not have had two Mimamsas called Karma Mimamsa and Brahma Mimamsa. That is a different Mimamsa, this is a different Mimamsa. You see, if Brahman is indeed a part of, if it has got Karma Vidhi Seshatvam, if it is connected to physical worships and mental worships, then it would be having a linkage with Karma Kanda. Then whatever you have to talk about Brahman, you would be talking in Karma Mimamsa. Just as Karma Mimamsa talks about all the realities, the physical realities, whatever realities that are related to karma, the things, the factors that are involving in karma and upasana are also described in karma mimamsa. Like Indra is a upasya. So we describe Indra also, karma mimamsa talks also about Indra. Whatever it is, whatever details. So if Brahman also is upasana vishayam, if it is available for upasana, then it would be a part of karma kanda. Then karma mimamsa itself would be talking about the nature of that upasyam. Just as karma kanda talks about the nature of or the form of various upasyas, karma kanda, karma mimamsa also would be talking about the nature or the form of Brahman as upasya. But there is no topic there. Brahman doesn't figure in karma mimamsa. Atma doesn't figure. It is not Atma Prakaranam. It is only Karma Prakaranam meant for the Jiva. Jiva is only told what to do, what not to do. Jiva is not told as to what he is essential. Jiva is Jiva alone. There is no Jiva Swarupa is not the Vishaya, is not the topic in Karma Kanda. Now we are doing here Nadudaha Brahmanaha Upasana Vidisheshatvam Sambhavati. It's not possible for Brahman to become connected to Upasana as an object of Upasana. Why? Because, if I have to connect an object, to my action, if I have to use an object in my physical worship, or use it as an object of my mental worship, or even as a part of my mental worship, then I should know that object. I cannot use an object or any reality. I can't use it in my physical worship or mental worship unless I know it, I have information about it. If it is a physical object, I should know what it is, like Yupa for instance. Please use Yupa in a yajna. I must know what is Yupa. Yupa is a kind of a log. It's a log that is converted into a Yupa. It's just a stump, a wooden stump. But I must know what it should look like, how it should be, shaped, etc. I should have the knowledge of Yupa to be used in the yajna. Or another very simple drishtanta is, please use the dravyas, navat dravyas in your yajna. There is a particular dravya which looks more like wheat. I don't know what it is called in Hindi. There is a particular thing which is used in yajna. I must know what it is. Or even till, for instance. I should know what till is. Use till in yajna. I should know what it is. How can I use it? Or simply worship Indra. I should know what is Indra. Even though he is not a pratyaksha, he is not an object in front of me. Even though he is paroksha, but give me some information about Indra. They say Vajrahastaha Purandaraha, he is an Indra with a Vajra in his hand. There's some information I must have. If it is paroksham, I must have some information. If it is pratyaksham, I must know it. Now Brahman is neither an object nor the paroksham, so I must have really aparoksha jnanam about Brahman. In order to use Brahman in my karma or use him in my upasana, I must know Brahma. And that is what is said here. Once it is known, ekatve, if that Brahman is known, ekatve, heya upadeya shunyataya, as free from heya and upadeya. Heya means an object to be, pain to be eschewed. Upadeya means a mental pleasure to be gained. Both are in fact objects. So Brahman is free from both a renounceable thing or an achievable thing. Brahman is neither heyam nor upadeya. So heya upadeya shunyataya means due to its being neither heya nor upadeya. Shunyataya, shunyatan, shunyataya. Therefore, shunyataya, tritiya ekvachan, therefore, shunyataya, shunyata hone ke karan se, due to being, like shunyatvena. Either you say shunyatvena or shunyataya, shunyatvam, like phalam, tritiya ekvachani, shunyatvena or shunyata, kal pratyaya if you add, then shunyata. Shunyata, then the tritiya ekvachan would be shunyataya, due to its being free from being either heya or upadeya. That's Brahman. Kriyakaraka dvaita vijnana upamartha upapattehe. Now, if Brahman is neither this object nor that object, in the recognition of that Brahman, well, the Kriyakaraka dvaita upamartha upapattehe means there is falsification of the entire dvaita. Recognizing Brahman as a non-object means recognizing Brahman as a non-object. And non-object cannot be something that can stand separate from everything else. I have given you the logic. What is not limited has to be comprehensive of everything. Therefore, what is not an object should be the truth of all objects. What is not a karakam should be the truth of all karakas. In recognizing the truth of all karakas, the karakas get really disproved, falsified. A non-karakam cannot stand separate from the rest of the karakas. I mean, here are the karakas and here is a non-karaka, you can't say. It is like saying, here is the pot and here is the clay. You can't say that. Here is the snake and here is the rope. You can't say that. The very truth of the pot is the clay. Therefore, just as in recognizing the clay, the sense of reality about the pot nest as another reality gets falsified. In recognizing the water, its being a wave gets falsified. In recognizing the non-object, the object gets falsified. Brahman being neither heya nor upadeya means it's not an object. If it is not an object means it's not a karakam. If it is not a karakam means then it is not away from the karakas. The non-karakam has to be the reality of all the karakas. This is the whole problem here. We want to find out the reality which is something beyond from the rest. What is unlike everything should be the truth of everything, quote unquote. That is Vedanta. What is unlike everything should be truth of everything. Therefore, heya upadeya shunyataya. Then kriya karaka, because of that reason, Brahman being like that, ekatvena, because it is one without a second, and also it is not a non-object, and therefore in recognizing that Brahman, the result is the falsification of the realm of kriya karakadi dvaita, usudvaita ka, dvaitasya, upamartha. Dvaita, dvaitaka. Upamartha means falsification. Upapattehe means being tenable. It is indeed tenable that in recognizing the one, the many get falsified. The Dvaitam gets falsified. The Karakas get falsified. Meaning my being a Karta gets falsified. My being an individual gets falsified. Kartritvam gets falsified. Kartritvam means what? I am a limited individual. I am a limited conscious, limited willer, desirer, doer, enjoyer, related to the means of action and objects of action, etc., etc. My idea of my being a limited individual itself gets falsified. The very Upasaka is missing. How can that knowledge, the knowledge of Brahma Vastu, how can I use for? How can I use that knowledge for, worshipping? How can I use that Brahman as an object of my worship? Because then I can't convert it as a Karaka. A non-Karakam Brahman, how can I convert it into another Karakam? Because Upasyam means what? It's a Karakam. The Upasaka is a Kartrikarakam. And the Brahman that I visualize and meditate upon would be the Karma Karakam, an object of action. I am the Kartrikarakam and Brahman is Karma Karakam. But here it is neither Heya nor Upadeya. If it is neither Heya nor Upadeya, if it is a non-object, and therefore by that very logic it has to be the truth of everything. And how can the non-Karakam be converted into a Karakam? Not only that, the recognition of the Swarupa falsifies my being a Karta, an individual related to so many factors. Therefore, Brahman doesn't have Upasana Vidhi Seshatvam. It's connected to it. Brahman doesn't have Upasana Vidhi Seshatvam, Karma Vidhi Seshatvam, because in order to do Upasana upon Brahman, I must know it. And it is not Paroksham, therefore being Aparoksham, I must recognize it as it is. And the information or the knowledge about the Brahma Vastu, I can't use it for Upasana, because the recognition of Brahma Vastu really falsifies the realm of Karakas. And the idea of myself being a Karta. In such a situation, how can I use the Brahma Vidya? The user identity itself gets falsified in the recognition of the Swarupa, and therefore Brahma Vidya only corrects the Brahma Avidya. And that Vidya cannot be used for negation of avidya, is not used for Brahma Upasana, because Upasana exists in avidya, karma exists in avidya, and the negation of Dvaitam cannot be used for karma and Upasana because they exist only in Dvaitam. This must be very clear. And therefore, even if a person does Upasana upon God, Brahma, it is not that he is doing Upasana after Jnanam. In fact, he is doing Upasana within Ajnanam. And you can do that Upasana for Chitta Shuddhi for Jnanam. Upasana can be for Chitta Shuddhi and ultimately to gain Jnana. That is based on Shraddha, belief. Bhagavan is a Sarvagraha, it is a belief, it is not recognition. Bhagavan Sarvagraha is what? Is a belief. That belief-based Upasana is valid, all right. Is it clear? Now, nahi ekatva vijnanena unmahitasya vaita vijnanasya punaha sambhavosti yena upasana vidisheshatvam brahmanah pratipadyeta. Bhashyakara continues, nahi, it's not, that we will take it up later. Ekatva vijnanena, by means of the recognition of the oneness, ekatva vijnanena, unmathitasya. Manth means, churning. Unmatha means to root out. Unmathita is nishtha. Unmathitasya, what is rooted out? Just an expression. What is negated is there. Ekatva vijnanena unmathitasya dvaita vijnanasya. The dvaita vijnanam, the sense of division, that is negated by ekatva vijnana. The sense of division that is negated by ekatva vijnanam, uska punaha nahi sambhavosti. It cannot again come back. It's not possible that it can again come. You see, what has laya can have srishti, what has bhatha again cannot have srishti. If this particular point we have to look at. There is no instance in life where the corrected again appears or corrected again is reborn. It's not a thing to be reborn. What resolves, like, before I discover really what it is, that it is rope, now when I open the eyes it is snake, when I close my eyes, the snake has laya. This is called srishti and laya. When it is seen, it is called srishti. We use the term srishti. When I open the eyes, I see the snake, it's called srishti. And when I close my eyes, I don't see it. I call it laya. So what has srishti can have laya, and what has laya can have srishti. But when I recognize that it is the rope, that is, and in that recognition, and the idea of its being the snake gets corrected, and that correction is neither srishti nor laya, that is called bhatha. And therefore, when there is sarpa bhatha, then understand there is bhatha of both srishti and laya. Bhatha of srishti laya. Because bhatha of sarpa means, if the sarpa is negated, then what is related to sarpa also is negated, because sarpa is always looked upon as having now srishti, now laya. Now srishti, now laya. What is it that has now srishti and now laya? It is the sarpa. And sarpa has bhatha, means srishti laya has bhatha. And therefore, and what has bhatha? See, when the srishti itself, the idea of srishti laya itself has bhatha. Now what is bhaditam cannot have again? Another srishti. That is why Bhashyakara says, nahi sambhavaha asti. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi ji once said one thing very beautifully. Layagatam manaha punarbhavati. No mritam. The mind that has laya can have recurrence, but the mind that is dead, meaning what? Falsified, in being traced to its own source, can't have recurrence. Even when there is mind, you know that it is not something not other than the source. Like even after knowing the water, you see the wave, but for you it is water. Therefore, Badha is not followed by Srishti. Laya is followed by Srishti, Srishti is followed by. Therefore, within the avidya, there is an idea. We think in terms of Srishti and Laya. In terms of the Jagat as Srishti, Jagat as Laya. But that Jagat which has Srishti, Laya is Adhyasa about Brahman. Like the Sarpa which has Srishti and Laya. The Sarpa which I think has Srishti and Laya. The Sarpa which we think as Sarpa which we think as Srishti and Laya is Adhyasa about Rajju. Therefore in the Rajju Tattva Jnanam there is Sarpa Badha. Sarpa Badha means Sarpa Srishti Badha and Laya Badha. Similarly, the Jagat, we interpret Jagat as having Srishti and Laya. So what is all the time, now seen, now not seen, etc., what is having Srishti and Laya is in fact Adhyasa in ourselves. And therefore, in recognizing the source of what we see, that Adhyasa has correction, and therefore the realm of Karakas has correction, and that Tattvam, how can it be made into Karaka? Now here Bhashyakara is saying, hey, this Dvaitam doesn't come back for you to convert the Brahma Vastu into Upasana. Dvaita Jnanam doesn't have the sense of, the confusion doesn't come back again for you to convert Brahma Vastu into Upasana. There also there is a flaw, I will show you. It's thoda sa hai. One could have added that also. But Bhagavan thought, well, the students of Vedanta must have that much of dimag to understand. Ahi ekatva vijnanena unmaditasya dvaita vijnanasya punaha sambhavosti. Yena, because of which, yena karanena. Upasana vidiseshatvam brahmanaha pratipadyeta. By which you could pratipadyeta could be arrived at what? Brahmanaha upasana vidiseshatvam. By which the Brahma's relation to upasana could be arrived at. Pratipadyeta could be arrived at, could be concluded. It is not that the Dvaita Jnanam comes back again for you to conclude that Brahman can be used in that Dvaita. Because in order to use Brahman as Upasyam, then we have to convert it into a Karaka. It is not that the realm of Karakas would come back for you to convert Brahman into Upasyam. Now the question is, alright, supposing I have Advaita Jnanam. So Dvaitam, I falsify Dvaitam. Then after that again, this Dvaita Jnanam comes back. Which means again I lose the Jnanam of Brahman. If I lose the Jnanam of Brahman, and without the Jnanam of Brahman, how am I going to convert it into Upasana? Upasyam. Because to make anything Upasyam, I have to have Jnanam. In order to meditate upon something, I must know it. And when I know Brahman, the Dvaita is gone. And supposing the Dvaita Jnanam comes, then I have, my knowledge about Brahman is gone. Dvaita Jnanam coming back means Advaita Jnanam going away. Brahma Jnanam going away. Dvaita Jnanam, Karaka Jnanam, the sense of reality about the Dvaitam coming means the knowledge of the Ekatvam deserting me. No, if I lose the vision of the Brahman, okay, then how am I going to convert that Brahman into Upasana? That also must be pointed out. I mean, just for an argument's sake. Neither Jnanam can go, nor the falsified confusion can come. Coming and going are only two things called Srishti Laya. There is only Srishti Laya. What appears to be coming and going, jana, ana, is nothing but Srishti Laya. And where the Srishti is taking place, and where the Laya is taking place, that is something that is in recognition of where it is taking place. Then the sense of reality about the Srishti and Laya gets falsified. Because there is no Srishti Laya, there is only an error, and that very within the error is the idea of Srishti and Laya. Like that the snake is created, that the snake is resolved, let us say, is what is called an error. Therefore, manifestation of the universe is a term. Unmanifest state of the universe called Avyakriti is another term. Vyakriti is a reference to the universe. Avyakriti also is a reference to the universe. But that universe happens to be Adhyasa, is a perception within ourselves. And therefore, in recognizing the actuality of our being, the unlimited, the being, the realm of the Karakas gets corrected. And that correction cannot be followed by Brahma Upasana. Therefore, there is a difference between Vedanta Vidya and Karmakanda and everything else. That is why all other Vidyas come under Apara Vidyas. Whereas Brahma Vidya is Paravidya. It is not an emotional statement, this is supreme Vidya, that is inferior Vidya, this is superior Vidya. It's not like that. Because every Vidya is a Vidya that is there within Karakas. It is Karaka Jnana. Every Vidya is a Karaka Jnana. And I can use any Vidya for action. I can use any Vidya to get a result. It can be used within. That is what is called Karma Vidhi Seshatvam, Upasana Vidhi Seshatvam. But the reality of the whole universe, the subject as unlimited cannot be. That cannot be used for another action and a result. It's not that I have to use my unlimitedness. I can't use my unlimitedness to perform an action to get a result. And doesn't it sound funny? Using one's unlimitedness to perform an action to get a limited pleasure. I tell you. Whoever thinks in that way, he puts the best sense of the word stupidity to shame. Sense of stupidity, the best in its best sense of stupidity, is put to shame by that man. That is why here it says, Yena upasana vidiseshatvam brahmana pratipatti. That is over. Bhagavan concludes that sentence. Yadyapi anyatra vedavakyanam vidhi samsparsham antarena प्रमाणत्वं न दृष्टं तथापि आत्मविज्ञानस्य फलपर्यन्तत्वात् न तद्विषयस्य शास्त्रस्य प्रामाण्यं शक्यं प्रत्याख्यातुम्। आराम से सुनना, ये वेदांत है। ये क्या है? वेदांत है। You have to recognize a student in yourself of not that I am a Ramana Kendra's class. I go to Ramana Kendra classes. ऐसा नहीं. I am a student. I am interested in knowing what the truth of life is. You have to recognize. And if one thinks that I want to know the truth, means my God, he is the most matured in the creation. Even all devatas would salute him. No ordinary thing. So this Vedanta Vidya is not some kind of exercise. It is looking at the very source of existence. The very source of thinking. We are aware of the objects of thinking. But the very source of where all thoughts disappear, where all thoughts appear, where all perceptions, means the whole universe, where the entire perception resolves and where the entire perception reappears, is not another object of perception. And therefore here what Bhashyakara is trying to convey something which can at least, enlighten the Mimamsaka, enlighten humanity, that Brahma Vidya, the spirituality or the means to human freedom, is not some kind of belief or theology and then fighting between one theology and another theology, one prophet and another prophet. It is not some kind of a race. Brahma Vidya doesn't get into any race with somebody. It doesn't have evangelists, missionaries. These are what? Are absolute stupidity. Has no meaning at all. क्या मिलता है? कुछ नहीं. उससे अच्छा है बिजनेस करो, पैसा कमाओ, खाओ, पियो, grow old and die. It is a much more attractive proposition than these theologies and writings. Therefore here Bhagavan says, Yadyapi, now we saw one Vakya. Amnayasya kriyarthatvatu anarthakyam atadarthana. Jaimini, when he wrote Karma Mimamsa, he gave one general mandate. And that general mandate, has to be kept in view throughout Karma. That general mandatory statement is that anything that is unconnected to action is useless. Because the very utility, the very idea of utility in the world is that it should be useful for me to undertake an action so that the action can bring about a result, and that result is in the form of a pleasure, and that pleasure is useful for me. That is called usefulness. Pleasure being useful as an individual, physical and mental pleasure is useful. Therefore, the action that brings about the object which gives me pleasure, that action is useful. And therefore, any object that is there closely related to that kind of action, a productive action, also is useful. Pleasure is useful, object is useful, and action is useful, pleasure is useful, action is useful, and anything that facilitates action is useful, any object. And if there is an object that is not directly connected to my productive action, then it is of no use. Therefore, in Veda, now, if it's a big topic, you have to listen to it very carefully. Now, if it is an object, if it is a pratyaksha vishayam, sense object, then I don't have to study karma kanda to know that object. I can use my sense organs to know the object. And those objects which are available for my sense perception are also described by Veda. It is a restatement of what I already know. But this restatement of what I already know is what is called Bhuta Vastu. An object which I know, the objects which I can know through the sense organs, these sense objects are all considered as Bhuta Vastus, meaning physical facts. These physical facts, otherwise called the physical objects, which are looked upon as facts by Jiva. Therefore, well, naturally the Veda also calls them the physical facts. Why should Veda talk about the physical facts? When I can know the physical fact, but even though I know them already, or I can know them, why should Karma Kanda use language to refer to the physical realities, the physical objects, the physical facts? There Jaimini says, the physical objects are also have to be referred to because they are used in action. They are used in yajna, yaga, etc. So the Bhuta Vastus, the physical facts also are used in action. Karma Kanda doesn't reveal them, but Karma Kanda only refers to what is already known. Now, even this reference to what is already known to me is warranted only because it can be used in Kriya. Therefore, Karma Kanda refers to the objects which have connection with Kriya. Therefore, the Kriya, because the Kriya being useful, you understand, actions are useful, you have to follow it. Pleasure is useful, therefore, all actions are useful, and in order to perform the actions, then I have to use really the details within the creation, and the details within the creation are called the Bhuta Vastus, and those Bhuta Vastus are directly or indirectly connected to the Kriyas. Now, what Shruti, that means, what Jaimini says is, the physical details, any details, the immediately known details, or the remote details, which are all referred to in Karma Kanda, they all have connection with Kriya, direct or indirect connection with Kriya. And the way he puts it is, anything that is unconnected has no use. When he says that anything in Karma Kanda, any physical detail that is referred to, any bhuta vastu, any physical detail that is referred to in karma kanda, if it doesn't have either direct or indirect connection with the kriya, then it is of no use. But something that is of no use cannot be mentioned in karma kanda. Therefore, make effort to find out the connection. That is the sandesh. Find out the connection. Find out the connection between the bhuta vastus referred to in karma kanda and the kriyas. Because anything that is unconnected would be of no use. Why? Because anything that is unconnected to my action is of no use, because just talking, so this is what we call just saying, the fire is hot, is of no use, because that I can know. Fire is hot is something which I can know. Why should Veda come and tell me? And if it does refer to the hot fire, maybe it has to be connected to kriya. In that sense it is useful. And anything that is unconnected to kriya is of no use. Maybe there are certain things which are mentioned in karma kanda which are of no use. No. Everything has utility. If it doesn't have direct use, maybe it has indirect use. You better find out. Because karma kanda is not meant to state the nature of the object. It is meant to state what is to be done. It is meant to state the actions. Because what is useful is only action. Because only action produces pleasure. And only pleasure is useful. This is the thinking in the context of karma kanda. This is the thinking in the context of karma kanda, because karma kanda is meant to help jiva to gain pleasure. It is not meant to enlighten jiva about himself. Karma kanda is not meant to enlighten jiva about his nature. That is not the job. Karma kanda is meant to help this jiva who is a karta to find his pleasures here and hereafter. Therefore, what Jaimini says is right, but that has relevance only within karma kanda and doesn't extend to Vedanta. This is what Bhashyakara is going to say. What Jaimini says, that any reference to a fact, a reference to a fact, it may be a physical fact. A reference to a fact by itself is of no use unless that fact is connected to action. This is Jaimini's mandate. But that mandate is only applicable within karma kanda. It cannot be extended to Vedanta. Whereas Mimamsakas extend that general mandate to Vedanta also. And that is why there they say, just as in karma kanda, well, all physical facts referred to are used in karma and upasana, in the same manner, well, in Vedanta also, Brahman is revealed, Brahman is referred to as a fact. And if it is a fact, it is a bhuta vastu. It is a fact. If it is a fact, whether it is a physical fact or any fact, we don't care. It is a bhuta vastu. If it is a fact, then that reference to that fact is useful only as connected to karma and upasana, not otherwise. In this manner, the Mimamsakas extend the general mandate to Vedanta also, whereas the Bhashyakara here is saying that mandate is applicable only to karma kanda, because that particular mandate is a part of karma mimamsa, not brahma mimamsa. That is why here he says, now, keeping in view what I said just now, look at the sentence. Yadyapi. Yadyapi means even though. Even though. Anyatra. Elsewhere means in the Karma Kanda. Even though in Karma Kanda, Veda Vakyanam, Veda Vakyas, the statement made in Karma Kanda by the Veda, Vidhi Samsparsham Antarena, without connection to action. Vidhi means, Kriya. Vidhi means either physical action or mental upasana. That is called Vidhi. Samsparsha means connection. Samsparsha means, touch, connection. Vidhi samsparsham. Antarena means without. Without connection to physical and mental actions. Pramanatvam na drishtam. Validity is not seen. Iska Veda Vakyanam. The Veda Vakyas in Karma Kanda have no validity unless they are straight away, directly or indirectly connected to the Karma Upasana. The Veda Vakyas made the statements, any statement, talking about the Bhuta Vastus, etc. These Veda Vakyas, any Vakya, has no validity at all, unconnected to Kriya. Unconnected to Kriya, it is of no, that means they lose validity. Though it is true that the statements made by Veda in the Karma Kanda, though the statements of Veda made in Karma Kanda have no validity unless they are connected to some action. Though that is true, but that doesn't apply to Veda. Tathapi, even then, even though it is so in Karma Kanda, that the Veda Vakyas unconnected to Kriya have no Pramanyam. But that does not mean there are certain Vakyas in Karma Kanda which are unconnected to, which are unconnected to Karma. Every Karma, every Vakya is connected to Karma. But if somebody were to come up with any, that means I have to find out the connection. I have to find out the connection of every Vakya in Karma Kanda with some Kriya, with some Vidhi. Because unconnected to Kriya Vidhi, it has no usefulness and therefore it has no validity. Even though that is the way in Karma Kanda, tathapi, but still, Atma Vijnanasya, self-knowledge, Phala Paryantatva, very beautiful, Phala Paryantatva, self-knowledge gives me exactly what I want. It culminates in my phala, what I want. When I go for, I am learning, how to drive. This is called I am going for Vidya. But the moment I learn how to drive, it doesn't give me the phala. Then I have to use that Vidya to find a job. And with that job, that Kriya gives me some phalam which is in the form of Sukham, that is the phalam. That means knowledge of an object doesn't give me the phalam. Knowledge of an object can be used for an action, and action brings the result, and the result gives me the phalam. In this manner, apara vidya is not phala paryanta. Karma vidya is not phala paryanta. The knowledge of a material object or the knowledge of an action is not itself a fruit. It can be, it will lead to some fruit later on. Knowledge of an action facilitates action, and action I perform and wait for the result, and that result is always in the form of an object, and that object I enjoy. When I enjoy, I get the phalam. See where the phalam is. That phalam is in the form of what? Sukham. Phalam is not in the form of an object. Even that object I have to enjoy. Bhoga. I did the karma, I got the phalam, I may keep it in my loka, but still there is no phalam. Phalam somebody else may enjoy. Yes, phalam somebody else may enjoy. But when I enjoy it, that is called phalam. That means apara vidya is not phala paryanta. It doesn't culminate, means itself, phala paryanta is not, apara vidya is not synonymous with the fruit. Paryanta means synonymous. To know an object does not mean, is not synonymous with the pleasure. Performing an action is not synonymous with the pleasure. That means no bhuta vastu, no physical fact is synonymous with the pleasure. No knowledge of a physical fact is synonymous with the pleasure. No physical action is synonymous with the pleasure. No mental upasana is synonymous with the pleasure. Therefore, nothing in this world is synonymous with the phalam. But understanding the self, there is phala paryanta, or any incident where I am suffering due to adhyasa, like Rajju Sarpa. I am suffering due to Rajju Sarpa. The moment I come to know the Rajju, that very Rajju Jnanam is Phala Paryanta. Rajju Jnanam is Phala Paryanta. How it is Phala Paryanta? It liberates me, that very knowledge liberates me from Sarpa Bhranti. Therefore, freedom from Sarpa Bhayam. Freedom from Sarpa Bhayam is to be taken as Phalam. Freedom from Sarpa Bhayam is there in the knowledge of the rope. Therefore, knowing the rope is synonymous with the fruit of freedom from Sarpa Bhayam. Therefore, wherever there is adhyasa in the material world, there the adhisthana jnanam is phala paryantam. Okay? And here also, here in the case of Brahma Vidya, understanding the self as unlimited itself is synonymous with the fruit that I am looking for. And what is the fruit? I want to be free from the struggle. I want to be happy, go behind. I want to be free from I want to be free from my very identity of being a struggler. It is not that I want to remain an individual and not struggle. That is expecting too much. But actually the implication is I don't want to be in a situation of being a struggler. Therefore, Brahma Jnanam, Atma Jnanam is what? Phala Paryantam. Phala Paryantam means what? Itself is a fruit. Knowing the Rajju is synonymous with the fruit of Sarpa Bhaya Mukti. Similarly, here also Atma Jnanam is Phala Paryantam. And if it is Phala Paryantam, what is Phala Paryantam need not be followed by Kriya. What is Phala Paryantam? Atma Jnanam, which is Phala Paryantam, why should it be used? Because, the knowledge of a ritual doesn't give me the fruit. For example, take the I want to perform a ritual. For performing a ritual, I must know how to perform it. Now I have got the knowledge of a ritual. Now that knowledge of a ritual is not phala paryantam. Therefore, karma jnana is followed by karma anushtanam, and after anushtanam I wait for a result. Then I get the result in the form of some donation. And that donation I have to enjoy. Then there is a phala. Until the phalam comes, I don't leave it. I don't leave it until the phalam comes. Therefore, the entire karma kanda is what? Understanding, gaining the karma jnana. You have to follow the language. Karma jnana means what? Only knowing how to perform a ritual, you have to pick it up. This is called karma jnana. And in knowing gaining the know-how of a ritual, understanding the way of performing a ritual also includes all the physical details connected to that ritual. Knowing those details also. Now that karma jnanam, along with the jnanam of all the details connected to that karma jnanam is not phalaparayantam, and therefore I go for anushtanam, and it is also available for anushtanam. And after anushtanam, wait for the result. There is always a wait for the result, because it always needs time, and I don't know. I can't be very sure. I can only perform the ritual and wait for the result, and when the result comes, I enjoy it. In fact, what I did, the process that I initiated 10 lives ago, I tell you the phala may come now. Adi. I might have initiated some process, some karma, sometime 10 lives ago. Its phala may come now in the mind. When there is a pleasure in the mind, suddenly you get some pleasure and enjoy it. You can't connect that pleasure to anything. And if you trace that pleasure in the mind, it is traced to an object to kriya, kriya to kriya jnana, and it may end up somewhere, either in this life or in the previous life. That is why the pleasures that you can't account for in this life can only be traced to previous life. That is why Bhagavan Krishna also says, I am here only for a few years and I have to tell Brahma Vidya, and don't ask me too many questions about karma. Why? Because Gahana Karmano Gati. It is too deep a topic. This karma. Sometime I initiated the process to get the result sometime later. That means karma is not phala paryantam. Karma jnanam is not phala paryantam. Karma anushtanam also is not synonymous. After that, I will wait. But ultimately go on. Anyway, we can take this much. Jnanam is not phala paryantam. It has to be followed by anushtanam, upasana. But Brahma jnanam is phala paryantam. Therefore, neither there is a necessity nor it is possible. Both you have to take into account. It is neither necessary nor it is possible, because how can I make the unlimited upasya? How can I convert myself into upasya? That is why here Bhagavan says, Tathapi Atma Vijnanasya Phala Paryantatvat, Atma Jnanam itself being synonymous with knowledge. Na tad vishayasya shastrasya. Na tad vishayasya shastrasya, the shastram that has this Atma as its topic. Tad vishayasya shastrasya, the shastram that is talking about the nature of Atma. Pramanyam na shakyam pratyaktatum. It's not possible. Na shakyam, it's not possible. Pratyaktatum, to refute. Pramanyam, the validity. It's not possible for anybody to refute the validity of Vedanta whose topic is Atma and whose knowledge is synonymous with the result. And just because it is not that jnanam, unlike in Karma Kanda, because in Karma Kanda the mandate is that any reality, any physical reality, any Vajna that is not directly connected to Kriya has no pramanyam, that is even though true in karma kanda. But here, the Atma Jnana is not connected to any Kriya, and just because it is not connected to Kriya, on that basis you can't refute the pramanyam of Vedanta. Because there you refute the pramanyam, the validity of a Vakya. In Karma Kanda you refute the validity of a Vakya on the basis of its having no connection with Kriya. In that manner in Vedanta you cannot really, Vedanta cannot be refuted, Vedanta cannot be stated to be non-valid on the grounds of its topic, its Vakyas having no reference to Kriya. Because the pramanyam of a pramanam is not based upon connection to karma. The pramanyam of a pramanam is based upon its capacity to reveal its topic. What is not available for other pramanams, it unfolds. Now, the Atma that is unfolded by Vedanta, and if that topic, if it is not available for Kriya, what can Vedanta do for that? The topic of Vedanta called the Atma, and being unlimited, and in the knowledge of that Atma, the whole Dvaitam gets falsified, and therefore the Atma is not available for any connection with Kriya. That is the nature of that Atma. What can Vedanta do for that? It unfolds. It has the capacity to show that you are unlimited, and if that unlimitedness is not available for being worshipped for the sake of a limited result, well, that is the glory of the self, that is the nature of the self. But the validity of Vedanta lies in the fact that it has the capacity to make you think and understand the falsity of limitation and the factuality of unlimitedness. There lies its pramanyam, and there concludes its pramanyam. Are you able to follow? Therefore, on the grounds of Atma not being connected to Kriya, you can't question the pramanyam of Vedanta. That is why here Bhashikara says, Na shakyam shastrasya tad vishayasya atma vishayasya shastrasya pramanyam pratyakyatum na shakyam. It's not possible. Because that mandate of Jaimini applies only to Karma Kanda. It doesn't apply to Vedanta. In fact, in life also, this is the problem. In fact, everybody is a Jaimini Anuyali. Everybody is a karmata in this world, because if somebody is sitting quiet, everybody says, kuch karte kyun? Is it useful for action? Will it bring a result? Will it bring money? Will it bring you house? Will it bring you comfort? Will it bring you pleasure? इससे फायदा क्या होता है? फायदा means what? It should give you some knowledge of an action. It is faida. And when you are performing an action, it is faida. And if you get the result, object, it is faida. And if you are enjoying it, it is also faida. In fact, ajkal, that enjoying is not faida. In fact, you should be knowing how to perform actions and accumulate the object. And if you sit down and enjoy, तो बर्बादी का काम कर रहे हैं. You are all the time enjoying. Why don't कुछ काम करो, कमाओ, काम करो, कमाओ is fine. Same thing. That means anyway, let us take karma jnana is faida, is useful. Karma anusthanam is useful, achievement of result is useful, and enjoying is useful. Anything unconnected to this process is useless. There is no use of collecting objects which are not connected straight away either to my karma or bhoga. No use. But Vedanta, the topic of Vedanta, even though not available for karma and upasana, yet the shastram that unfolds it has validity because it does make man understand his being the unlimited. And that very jnanam is synonymous with what he wants. Therefore, Atma-jnanam is phala-paryantam. And if the jnanam itself is phala-paryantam, then there is no need for anusthanam. Not only there is no need for anusthanam, there is no possibility of anusthanam because for doing anusthanam, karakas have to be there, and karakas themselves are being falsified, and therefore you can't. And therefore Vedanta is a pramanam. It is swataha pramanam. Vedanta is what? Swataha pramanam. Its pramanyam is not established through another phenomenon. It is an inference. Now, we are concluding in a minute. In Karma Kanda, we make an inference. Anything that is unconnected to Kriya has no pramanyam. That means I have to deduce the validity on the grounds of connection to Kriya. Now, pramanyam is not deducted. It is not something that is deduced. It is not something that is deduced. It is not something that is, inferred. Why? Pramanam by nature is swataha pramanam. A pramanam is valid, like eyes are a pramanam. It is like saying, any eye that doesn't see the form is not valid. You don't have to say, because eyes are meant to see the form. And it has its pramanyam there itself. It unfailingly shows the form. Therefore, it is a pramanam by itself. And its validity is not really established through something else. It is not inference. I don't have to infer the validity of the eyes. If I have to infer the validity of the eyes, then I must have the grounds. Then those grounds will be more valid than this. Then if I require grounds to infer the validity of the eyes, then I have to have another thing to infer the validity of the grounds. The grounds on which I have to infer the validity of the eyes, I would question the validity of the grounds. And again I have to infer the validity of the grounds on the basis of another grounds. Then again the same problem. I can also have the doubt about the validity of that ground. And to infer the validity of that grounds, I have to posit another ground. We end up in anavastha. Therefore, if there is no swatah pramanyam, it will lead to anavastha. Therefore, every pramanam is swataha pramanam. Karma kanda is swatah pramanam in the matter of karma. Vedanta is swatah pramanam in the matter of Atma being Brahman. Pratyaksha is swatah pramanam in the matter of the objects. Each pramana is a swataha pramanam. It doesn't have to be inferred through something else. This also Bhagavan is going to clarify in the coming lines. We will see later. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevamudishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. एक वाक्य में in each vakya there is so much of vision. So we say topic, each vakya is a prakarana. Each vakya is a topic. Phalaparyantatvam is a hetu, which is a topic by itself, because in life the effort continues until I continue doing something until I get the result. If knowledge itself is synonymous with the result, then main thing is there is no need, nor is it possible. If it is not possible, you can't do anything else. If it is not necessity also, you will not do. Nobody does anything that is not necessary for you. Because I want to be happy. Whatever I do it for happiness. And if I find happiness, why should I do? Until I sleep, I want to sleep. And once a person sleeps, then there is no effort to sleep. Once a person gets what he wants, then there is no... It is a topic by itself. Each vakya is a topic. That's why Samanvayadhyaya is a very big adhyaya. Samanvayadhyaya is explaining away the Pramanyam and also the place of Brahmavidya in life. The place of Brahmavidya in Veda in life. The place of Brahmavidya is position. It is not some what we call the Karmathas will come and meddle with it, and Mimamsakas come and meddle with it, and Buddhis come and meddle with it. All of it has been properly dealt with. See, Samanvayadhyaya is a very big adhyaya. Samanvayadhikaranam. LOG, you can have it. Our Brahmasutra, Brahman Mimamsa is great. Brahman Mimamsa is great. Brahma Sutras are great. It is not just some kind of intellectual exercise as many stupid people think. Oh, it is all intellectual. The real experience is beyond Brahma Sutras. But it is all, it will give you intellectual satisfaction. Brahma Sutras gives you some intellectual satisfaction. How does the statement that God created the world creates intellectual satisfaction? I don't understand. God felt alone, God was alone, then He created, and then He entered the body. And now how this sequence of statements satisfy my intellect? Doesn't create any intellectual satisfaction or anything. Intellectual means really inferential. How? No, then you have a curiosity, how did it come about? So Veda says it came about from God. So okay, it's called intellectual satisfaction. If you have devotion, then you have really emotional satisfaction. It doesn't give you any emotional satisfaction. In fact, it disturbs your emotions. Devotion only disturbs your emotions. See? No. That is why in Karma Mimamsa, Vedanta Vakyas do not figure. It is Karma Vakya Mimamsa. That is why Athato Karma Mimamsa. This is the very first sutram. Now onwards, here begins the Mimamsa of Dharma. Dharma means Adrishtam. Jiva, when he does actions, he gets not only Drishta Phalam, but also Adrishtam Phalam, which is called Dharma. Dharma as the Phalam. And any action that you do, which is going to have Adrishtam Phalam, which is not in the form of visible thing, and it may come now or later, that's called dharmic karma. Meaning karma that brings about dharma. That is why it is bhavya. It is going to come later. Therefore, the whole Karmakanda is talking about dharma. Dharma means punya. And jiva is in need of punya. Anyway, because he doesn't die, that is the problem. He doesn't die with the body. He will take another body. His life is long. His long-term project, my God, what long? Until he gets moksha, he is going on. Jiva continues to assume form after form until he figures out his absoluteness. And therefore, in the process of his long journey, then definitely there is dharma. Whether he needs it or not, there is something called dharma and he needs it also. Because karma has twofold results, drishtapalam and adrishtapalam. And how can adrishtapalam, who is going to enjoy the adrishtapalam? One joker says, he commits the murder and then he gets away with it. Now it has adrishtapalam. Who is going to enjoy the adrishtapalam? Drishtapalam, somebody else is enjoying, suffering. Drishtapalam, you commit a murder, the drishtapalam is the man is dead. That is the drishtapalam. And makes the whole family unhappy, sad. That is the drishtapalam. But he gets the whole adrishtapalam. Who is going to enjoy the adrishtapalam? Himself has to enjoy. And if he is going to become zero with the body, then I tell you, then it is all meaningless. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Neither is he without a previous janma, nor is he without next janma. Janma ke baad janma, it goes on until the jiva finds himself. And therefore, the whole Karmakanda is Dharma Mimamsa, not Brahma Mimamsa. There is no Brahma reference. ये आत्म प्रकरण नहीं है, ये कर्म प्रकरण है. वेदांत is आत्म प्रकरण. In Atma Prakaranam, there is no Dharma Mimamsa. In fact, we dismiss Dharma as also Bhranti. Anyatra Dharma, Anyatra Adharma. It is other than Dharma and Adharma. You see? And just because Atma is not available for Mimam, for Upasana, Vedanta doesn't lose its validity. Somebody is happy sitting in a cave. Now, how his existence is invalid? How is his existence invalid? Just because he is not performing any action. Because he is not using his body and mind to perform kriya. Now you can't go and say you are wasting your time. Therefore your existence has no pramanyam. Therefore he can be just dispensed with. Like this German state. Whoever are low born, Hitler wanted to get rid of the non-blue-eyed individuals. Why? Because only the blue-eyed had the validity, pramanyam. Therefore, whoever, if a Swami is sitting quiet and he is not doing any karma, you can't say, "Ye kya hai? You are wasting your time." Why? You are not doing karma. In fact, he says, you are wasting your time because you are doing karma.
Building and doing everything.
So you can also say, in fact, you are wasting your time because you are doing karma. And who is right and who is wrong, to find it out really requires 25 years of adhyayanam for him if he is serious. What the sadhu says, to understand that, for that joka, he may take 25 years. If he takes 25 years and understands it, he is lucky. And I don't think even in 25 years he really becomes clear about things. Ultimately he will end up in such a big mess. If he opens the Vedanta and gets into the topic, he will definitely get messed up and then ultimately go back to business. Then afterwards he will behave properly with sadhus. And that will be the fruit. Because I shadowed one sadhu and got into the mess. Now onwards, keep away from them. At least that itself is good. उसका फल तो मिल गया. देखना पड़ता है. Yeah, सुषुप्ति.
When you wake up and you know that you had a good sleep, is it based on smriti, memory?
It is, we call it pratyabhijna. It is, see, it requires, once we say memory, we have two kinds of recollection. One recollection is recollecting an object that I saw before. This is called smriti. Now, the negation of the smriti, that I did not have any memory in Sushupti, that I had no memory of this waking world. Neither I saw the waking world, nor I remembered the world. The very negation of the memory. Now when I recollect, the negation of the memory cannot be a matter of memory. Technically it is not. But it looks as though it is memory. And therefore, the recollection of the absence of the world, recollection of the absence of the memory is nothing but the continuity of your being. It is nothing but the continuity of your being, and being the witness of both the presence and absence of the world. So you are only registering that I am the seer of the world and I also see the absence of the world. Now I am connecting the presence and absence of the world, and presence of the world as the perception and absence of the world as a memory. I am just really converting it into memory. Otherwise it is not memory. Technically it is not memory. That is why we have another word for it, and just because we use another word, it doesn't solve the problem unless it has to be understood the actuality and the bhranti. Even though Sushupti is nothing but one's own being, I make it an object of my memory in Jagra. You see? Therefore it is a bhranti. Sushupti looking like an object of memory is a bhranti. It's not memory. Why? Because ultimately it falls in line. Memory also is bhranti. Every memory is bhranti. Like sarpa is bhranti and sarpa smriti is bhranti. Therefore, any memory comes under bhranti. Therefore, I don't have to explain everything. I don't have to explain Sushupti on the basis of memory. But I explain away Sushupti and bhranti. See? It is a bhranti because when you say I had Sushupti, is it not a bhranti? Because the one, dream I had. So I put the dream in the past. Okay? The waking I put it in the present. Sushupti also I put it in the past. Now just listen. 2 minutes. Now waking is present, dream is past, Sushupti is past. Ye to pakka hai, because bhranti hai. Now how it is a bhranti you will see. Now the one who experiences the waking and the one who experienced the dream and the one who experienced the negation of both is never in the past. It can never move in time. The experiencer of the dream, the experiencer of the waking and the experiencer of the negation of both is not. That means the aham, the atma is not in the past. That means it is time free. And therefore the waking state is rooted in the ever present. The so-called dream which I can look upon as past is rooted in the present, in the ever present. And the negation of both which again I put in the past is also rooted in the ever present. And therefore as inseparable from the ever present. In fact they are also timeless. As Ananya with the ever present, they are eternal. Therefore, looking upon them as belonging to I belong to the present, dream belongs to the past. Is it not a bhranti? I am in the present, dream is, I am disconnecting the dream from me. I put the dream in the past and myself in the present. I put myself in the present and Sushupti in the past. Is it not a bhranti? Therefore, the three states can be understood only as a matter of bhranti about one, the ever present. Therefore, we can't explain anything away on the basis of memory or as memory. or merely not as memory. We can neither explain it as memory or as non-memory, or just by inventing another word meaning again memory or a non-memory. It has to be, the error has to be conveyed as, has to be grasped as an error about the occurrence. There is no other way. Therefore, Pratyabhijna is a paddhati, is a prakriya to convey the continuity of the being without slipping into either past or future. It is being. Pratyabhijna, continuity, not in time. Continuity means having no negation. It has no negation is the, the tatparyam of it has continuity. It has continuity does not mean it continues from like the object. Its continuity is not in time. When we say it has anvaya, continuity, it doesn't mean continuity, meaning it has no negation. Non-negatability is the summary, is the tatparyam of the word anvaya, continuity. Continuity means what? Non-negation. That must be fixed. Otherwise you will think that the Atma continues in time. It was there in the past, it is there in the present, it will be there in the future. I say no. It is there not in the past, in the present, in the future. In fact, it is free from being in the past or being in the future. The past and future are linked to it. Past is ananya with it, future is ananya with it. Not it is inside the past and it is inside the future. The past and the future are ananya with it. That way, and Bhranti we have to explain.